everybody, and welcome to Planning with Donna. Today I have another junk journaling video for you guys. So if you want to see, I'm going to teach today, we're going to do things in order. We're going to cover a cereal box. With the offcuts, we're going to make little notebooks and little matchbox notebooks. And I want to show you guys how to do that. We're also going to bind this journal today. So I have taken the liberty of already cutting out a cereal box the way that I want it. Got everything even. Basically, I have just taken the cereal box, cut it down to the size I wanted. I took, and you can cut it any size. I mean, the size on these things, you can make a great big journal, you can make a little tiny journal. I mean, it doesn't matter, it's completely up to you. I had some of this school paper that I had got for Abby and did not use. And I counted out, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 5, and these are all of equal amounts except this other one, I think it's like 8. So I went ahead and folded it over and matched it up to here so that it's going to fit coming in just a little bit. And I may end up having to cut off a little bit more because this might get poofy or whatever. And if it does, you can always put lace on the edges or whatever. And I took them and put them on the sewing machine and sewed down the middle. You do not have to do that. You can staple them, you can leave them. They don't even have to be bound together. So I have 3 signatures here that I have already. Basically, you take a piece of paper, you fold it in half. You do not have to sew, okay? So again, you take whatever paper you have, scraps, whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be plain pages. It can be anything. Fold it in half. So we have 3. So I wanted to make sure that this was all even on here. So I've lined it up, I measured, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And the dots are where I will put holes in this, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my awl. If I can get it off of here. I have an awl. You can take anything sharp, doesn't matter what it is. It can be scissors, a knife. It does not matter, okay? And yes, I pulled that off with my teeth. Okay, I did a bunch of crafting yesterday. Now, each one will be its own thing, okay? And the first thing I'm going to do is punch the hole here. So I want to try to line this up. This is as new to me as it is to you. I have not put a journal together like this. So, and if it's not perfect, that's okay. My main thing here, oops, it helps if I get it in the center, won't it? We have 3 holes. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to make this a little bit bigger, okay? Just by immersing this a little bit deeper, okay? And they're not exact, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can see where I have that. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Not as big, but just to widen it up a little bit because we're going to sew today. Yes, we are. I'm going to teach you guys how to do this. I've had a lot of requests to do this. And yeah. I think what I'm going to do now is to just poke my holes first. If it's not perfect, oh well. This is Donna's one-on-one junk journaling. I don't think there's any professional junk journalers out there, so, you know, if there's not, that's okay. Get bigger. Make sure you don't stab yourself because it's really easy to do. And there you go. Got 3 signatures. We got 3 holes. We can put this up before I cause irreparable damage to myself. So we're going to get this ready. We'll go ahead and cover everything first. So we got our thread ready. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, no, we need to cover the journal first. But we've got it lined up. We've got it ready to go. See, I'm learning just like you are. All right, let's move this out of the way. And what I'm going to do, see, I destroy things, is we are going to, I think what I want to do here on the inside is, well, the first thing I want to do is cover this outside up. And I think I'm actually going to do this with a piece of a couple pieces of sticker paper, okay? Just because that's so bright. So, and I may be making a huge mistake, but, you know, like I said, this is learning 101 here, folks. So I'm basically taking my paper, and I think I'm going to go over just a little bit. And what I'm going to do to save time is go ahead and just cut this bad boy down. And we will cover it with this sticker paper and see how that works. Just to give it, plus it'll give it more strength. Okay. So let's get this out of the way because I don't want to mess up these pages. And I'm just going to start here at the top. And I will peel this down like so. It has the peelable back like that. We're just going to lay it up here on the edge. Try to get hold of these together. There we go. And I'm just going to pull it like wallpaper. There we go. I'm going to get my bone folder. I'm going to do that. Get down in the creases. And that's fine right there because we're going to punch holes back through that anyway. I just wanted to smooth it out so that you all could see what it is that I'm actually doing. So now we're going to come back. We're going to get the Yucky scissors. And I think I'm going to cut this direction. All right. And we're back. I didn't want to make you all sit and have to watch all that. So now we're going to cover the front. And the papers that I chose, there's that. And this. Let's put it on the back. And I must have used all the other one. And that's just a spine, so maybe, yeah, I've got enough of this, that don't matter. Okay, so I used these books that I had picked up from AliExpress. These are great. They have lots and lots and lots to choose from. So what I chose for the front, which will be this side here, let's go ahead and do this. Where is my bone folder? Just going to do this. Okay. And get these nice and limbered up again. Okay. I'm just really been enjoying the process. I think it's just fun. It's like you're creating something and you really, you know, it's like anything else. You really don't know what you're doing. You just watch other people and you're like, okay, I can do that. And that's what you do. So we're going to take this piece, and this is going to be the very front cover. But before I do that, I'm going to do my middle. And I'm going to use about, I'm going to cut right down this pink line. And we're going to cut off where I punctured all the holes in here, where I can still use that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to use this. And I'm going to use one of these book pages. This is what Miss Julie does. And it does help save your desk. As you can see, my desk looks like a hot mess right now, and there's a reason for that. Because I didn't use book pages yesterday, and I made all kinds of pretty things that I'm going to share with y'all at the end of the video. So what I'm going to do, move that out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to get my bone folder, and I'm going to burnish this down as good as I can. Okay. This is going to be my front. Okay. I like that as my front garden party. Or, I mean, if you like that better, it could be that. I like the garden party better just because I did. So we're going to basically do the same thing here. And I think what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to take this and we're going to go down a little bit on that side. I can't wait to show y'all some of these other little things. I think you're really, really, really going to like it. Okay. And if you got this sticking up just a little bit, the thing I'm going to do is just lift this up. There we go. And I wanted to try to be mindful that this strip here was sort of even and not going crooked on me. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing here, and hopefully I don't forget to turn it the right way. Where's my paper? Here it is. And this is going to be this part. Yep, it's going to go right like, yep, okay. So we're going to do this. And I may run into a little difficulty with the bend, but we will figure that out as we go. Because I'm trying to teach you all as I'm learning myself. And, you know, if you know things more about than I do, I would appreciate your feedback a lot. Because I'm learning too. And there is our front cover, all nice and put on. If I'm doing the steps wrong, let me know, or If you think this is going to be one heck of a mess, let me know. And there is our front cover. And I think that is going to be so pretty. What do you think? So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to let this dry. And while this is drying down, I am going to show you some other things. Okay? All the little offcuts from here, I want to show you what I'm doing with them. So the first thing I'm doing is taking a piece of scrap. I've cut it with my cute scissors. I'm opening it up. And I'm going to put this little tiny pocket here, okay? Now, when you're doing these little pockets like this, you just use a little tiny bit of glue. And we're only going to glue here, the bottom, and here. Remember to leave it open. And I'm just putting a little tiny bit on the edges. Okay. And I don't want it all the way up in the crease there. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this paper and we're going to make a little notebook. We're going to put that in there like that. And the whole point was to be able to have enough room so that that would slide down in there, okay? So let's let that dry, and while that's drying, we're going to take this, we're going to fold it over like so, and I got these little rose gold little brads. Going to make sure, and I ripped the edges of my paper just because I thought it would make it look a little cuter. I'm going to take my little hole punch here. I can see what I'm doing, and I'm going to go about right there. Going to come over and try to get it even so it doesn't look totally crazy. Did pretty good. I'm going to poke this in here. And then this one, I'm going to do the same thing. Is that not cute? They're not completely straight, but that's okay. It's not perfect. Now, if you didn't want that to show, you can use this over and over. So if you covered that up with glue, you know, they're not going to come loose. So you can take this apart and add more and more and more pages. So I'm not going to cover the brads up, but you've made you a little notebook. And if you wanted it to be to where it didn't open up, all you would have to do is take a piece of twine or a little piece of ribbon or something like whatever, and just tie you a little bow so that it would keep it closed. And there you have your little notebook, okay? So that is a really cute, easy little thing to do with all your scraps so that you're not throwing them in the trash. So there's one little thing that you can stick in your journal, okay? This can be added anywhere in your journal. So what we're going to do, let me put my lid on my awl over here because, yeah, I'm going to stab myself. We're going to make a matchbook, okay? So basically I took a piece of scrap and I just folded it over like a matchbook. All these extra pieces that you see here, I just took a bunch, folded them in half, put them in there, and folded them over, just like that. Now, what you can do, if you want to be able to keep using this over and over and over, is Let me find it. What did I do with that? I have organized, and of course, you know what happens when you organize. I think I might just use a little piece of this, just for sake, just for purposes, so you can see what I'm talking about. Doesn't really matter. Twine or whatever kind of little ribbon you want to use. And all I'm going to do is just, well, pull it to where it's a little bit more even. Here we go. I'm going to tie a little, I really like this wax thread. Push that up. Come over here in the middle. Try to hold that down since I don't have a small child's hand to help me. And, oh, fiddlesticks. This wax thread is a little slippery. Why don't we do this? There we go. Make myself a little bit easier here, and then we're just going to tie a little bow. And I'm sorry if I'm not getting things 100% perfect every time. And we're just going to leave that like that. Now, you can do this 100 other ways. You can do a staple. If you want to do a staple, you could have done another brad. You can do whatever you want. I think that's stinking cute, and we're just going to do that. And most of the time, this stays closed all by itself. So there's your little matchbook. Thought that was really, really cute. Now, I have a lot of these bigger ones, and so what I'm going to do with these bigger ones, basically, is what I did with the little tablet that we put in the other one, is I'm going to fold this down, and I'm probably going to trim it off. So it's just a piece of scrap. Now, see where that's not even? Where's my trimmer? These are little wonks. Little wonk here. Let's even them up. Well, that was successful. There we go. I need to put another blade in this. I literally just replaced this blade, and it is already that dull, just from all the paper crafting that I've been doing. So now we have it nice and even. Okay, that looks good. And I think I'm going to cut a little of that off. I hope that you guys are enjoying my junk journal stuff. I'm new at it, so I'm just trying to be helpful to you guys because, you know, everybody has to learn at some point. And I think that, you know, you've enjoyed some of my other processes. I had a pencil once upon a time. It's probably right in front of me. Just grabbing that. Well, that one doesn't have a lead on it. And I'm just going to, like, mark that and that, like so. And I am going to just put this on there and cut this down just a little bit. Here we go. Just because I want it to better fit. Okay. Get all that. Now, some of these little scraps like this, I don't get real crazy. Most of those go in the trash. Or you'd have 5,000 pieces of scrap. So, I think these are so cute. And then I'm just going to eyeball this. Cut that off. Is that not cute? I mean, that is something, you could just sit and make tons of these over and over and over. You could literally punch holes through it and put a button on it. You can do anything. The brads. You could put eyelets through here and run an eyelet here and an eyelet here and run thread through it and have you a bow. So you can do a plethora of things with your scraps. So as you can see, I have lots of scraps that I'll be making a lot of this stuff up. And these things like this are going to be, a lot of this stuff's going to be in my shop. So I have little mini pieces that I'm going to make little mini matchbooks from. And I have the bigger little notebooks you just saw. So I'm going to have tons and tons. Like I got tons that I can make little notebooks from there. So it doesn't take much to make a little craft. And please excuse this. So what I'm going to do, I think, with this is where I cut it down. I cut it in half yesterday. And I'm like, because some of these pieces were really big, I think I'm going to take some offcuts of stuff that I've had. And I think I'm actually going to like fold this over like a little book. And I think that I am going to make a little notebook out of this that I can put in my journal. Okay, so let's get back to our page here. It looks like it's had time. Still feels a little damp, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the edges off. It might be a good idea if I just folded them over and glued those down just to give it some more enforcement. Now these little edges here, I'm not fooling with them just because I don't feel like getting a headache trying to get them all perfectly even and all that. You can ink these edges and you can hide a lot. It gives a more finished look to your book, and I'll demonstrate here very shortly. Let's get our scraps out of the way and fold that back down and line this up. And we'll get this edge off the bottom and the top. Okay. So I'm going to take a little of, where is my book? Where's my book? Here it is. I'm going to take my glue. I did order some art glitter glue because it is fast drying and very strong and comes highly recommended. And if you watch any amount of junk journaling videos, you already know almost every junk journal video that you see, that's what they're using. Okay. Okay. So I'm just doing a little at a time. Okay. Well, that looks nice. Really happy with the way that's looking so far. And I'm thinking about ordering some more stuff from Temu. I was very happy with the selections that I did purchase. There wasn't anything that I really didn't like. The quality was really good. So I would like to report that back to you guys. That is looking sweet. Look at that. I'm so happy. So let's ink. And I want to show you how it will be. I think I'm going to use Vintage Photo Distress Ink by Tim Holtz. And you basically just go along the edge here, and that will really camouflage a lot. I like peaks and valleys on my stuff to have a lot of distressing, like this right here, and I'm going to have to reinforce that. I may end up having to put a piece of lace. I think it makes stuff look so authentically old, and I'm just a freak. And if you didn't catch my video where I shared all the stuff that Lee sent me, you really need to catch that video, because you're going to see a lot of the things that she sent me in this journal, because this is just going to be a part one. We're going to do this journal from beginning to end. So you've already seen the cover and the signature sign in today and the little things that may go in here. And part two is going to be basically filling it up. And then when I get it all done, I'm going to put it up for sale in my shop. And if it doesn't sell, I'll probably do a giveaway. So you can see how that really ages that. A little darker right there. I just think that just makes it a whole new level. I'm not going to worry so much about this right now, just because I'm going to cover this inside. So that's how you ink. And if you don't want to ink, don't ink. A lot of people don't. So I like it, so I ink. Now, let's see what we're going to do. I think the inside, I don't know what I'm going to put on the inside. I'm thinking like something like this, where I could actually have some writing maybe. But then I thought, well, you know, maybe I'll want to cover it up. Something like, is this the right one? Make sure I got the right book. No, it's this book. Duh. Okay, so I think, because I'm going to have this edge here, that's really pretty, and then it wouldn't matter if you covered it up with something. What do you think? I think that's really pretty. Okay, so we've got that side. And where these books pretty much, you know, are all put together and matchy-matchy, you really can't go wrong with what you choose. I mean, because the whole book sort of matches. So, let's see here. I like that. I want to get something a little more like, I like that a lot. Okay, I think I'm going to use this page. Okay, so we've got that all picked out. All right, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put that one there and that one there. What do you think? I'm loving it, guys. I am loving it. I'm so glad that you're here for the ride on this, because I feel like I'm actually helping or teaching you something, and I'm excited about it. I have not been excited about my channel for a long time, and I'm sure if you are a regular viewer, you probably already know that. I'm crafting, and it makes me happy, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. I really do. And if you're not, I'm sorry. Okay, let's put this right there. Okay. And yes, your book's going to curl a little bit. That's when you go, when you put something heavy on top of it. Okay, there's that one. We're gonna do this side. And once I get better glue, I'm probably going to feel better. I mean, so far, everything that I've glued in the past that I have over here has held up, so I'm not really concerned. So, I know one thing, when you put this stuff down, it holds. This out of the way. One of the best investments I made was this little kit that this came in, because you got 2 bone folders, you got a little set of scissors, you got 2 things of this, you got a thing of needles, and all kinds of other stuff. And it was like $17 and you got the whole kit. Everything pretty much that you needed. Okay. I am loving how this looks. Like I am really, really loving how this looks. So in the middle, I think I'm going to put this because it's really not going to matter. I actually think I'm going to cut it right down the edges of this. Let's do the trimmer because it'll be faster. And there we go. When I started, they were mowing grass outside, and boy, they're fast. I mean, these guys that are coming and mowing grass here are like, wow. I could not believe how quick they made this yard. And my best friend's house up on the hill, I mean, she's got a big old yard. And I think this is just perfect. So, let's go ahead and bring back the word search. I do want to go over just a little bit on each side, just for reinforcement's sake. Here we go. You definitely want to make sure you get this stuff as straight as you can. I mean, you don't have to make it perfect, but I try to, the straight stuff is what gets me. You know, everything else can look wonky, but if it's like totally crooked, it's going to drive me a little bit crazy. Here we go. So what do you think so far? If you're liking what you've learned or seen so far, please give me a like. Every time you hit that like button on my videos, it tells YouTube that there's something worth watching. And it really, really helps my channel to grow. I mean, one day I have X amount of subscribers, and the next day it's like, are you serious? Yeah. It's very disheartening because I work really hard on my channel. And I just... Just going to trim this off. Here we go. I'm really loving how this is looking, and I hope that you guys are liking it. I might put this in a giveaway. Maybe if I hit 900 subscribers, or even better, 1,000, what do you know? I might actually just do this, my very first journal. I might just give it away. Vote below. What are your thoughts? Think I should do a giveaway? Or do you think I should sell it in my shop? Like I don't know what you're going to say. Okay. Just going to trim down through here. Guys, I am in love with this. In love with this so far. Yes, I just cut a butterfly in half. Please, no feedback. I know y'all are going to be like, oh no, you cut that butterfly in half. Yep, sure did. He's in butterfly heaven now. Okay. So, there's our front. What do you think? Use that as a belly band. Front, back, spine. Back, front, spine. Let's do a little light inking. And let's get this back out on the inside. And we're going to call the cover Finis. I tend to be a little heavy-handed with the inking. At times. But I just think it really does add, especially like in my corners and stuff, because that's the biggest wear or the biggest like damage that's going to be to a book is going to be in your corners. And that's why I like them to be sort of heavily inked. Trying to make sure everything's on camera. Okay, so I'm really not going to worry about the spine on this just because you're not really going to see it. I did just want to do that. There we go. I am loving it, guys. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy with how this is turning out. And quite frankly, I'm so happy that it's not turned out to be a complete disaster. Isn't that great? Oh, I love it. So let's just look at our signatures. And you're going to have 3 separate signatures. Make sure I got them the right way. And the way that they're going to be in here, I'm going to show you from this angle, is where those 3 holes were. They will be sewn in this spine like so. And I've got one signature a little longer than the other one, so I need to fix that. Okay, so this really needs to cure. So I think I'm going to stop the video there. We've got our front and our back done, and we had all of the little extra things that I showed you today. So on part 2 of journal making, beginning to end, like these little matchbooks that we made. Okay, and then this little book that we made. Open it up in case you didn't. Isn't that cute? And then, you know, like I can put a pocket. Like you could always do a pocket like this. I mean, if this was a different, I wouldn't put it in here, this writing going this way. But put that little pocket in, put a pocket in there. And then you could just tuck that in. Same thing here, pocket in there. And you could just tuck that in there like that. So we made a little mini notebook, a little matchbook notebook, okay? And I showed you how to do the signatures, how to punch the spine, and the front and the back of the journal. So guys, I really, really hope that you enjoyed part 1 of journal making on my channel. If you did, hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and don't forget to hit that like button. Leave me a comment, any thoughts or tips that you may have, and I'll see you on part 2. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.